guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you the ultimate guide on how to get a legitimate service dog in 2026. This guide is for United States users only. I'll also make some other videos on how to get a service dog in your country if it is a thing. So let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, what is a service dog? So a service dog under the ADA is a dog that is task trained to mitigate a disability. Of course, there's a lot of controversy to come to answer the fact is, what disability can service dogs provide? Service dogs can provide a lot of tasks for a variety of different disabilities, not just physical but also psychiatric. Let's say you have PTSD and you have a hard time going to public and you feel unsafe. A service dog for that disability in that category can do tasks like block, when the dog can stand behind you and provide a sense of security, or cover, when the dog comes into front of you and blocks the front of you from people, to create space. And you can have the dog do orbit or crowd control, when the dog goes into circles around you, creating room and having people distance themselves for you. So those are some tasks that can help with PTSD, but also can help with anxiety, social anxiety. There's a lot of things that service dogs can perform, but that is just an example of service dog task. What classify as a life-altering disability? This is very controversial because any disability can be life-altering. A lot of disabilities have their own way and their different effect on a lot of people. And in my opinion, I think whatever works for you, works for you. But I also have an opinion that service dogs should be last resort and not the first thing you should think of as soon as you get a diagnosis. A life-altering disability has to affect your something in your daily life. Commonly, walking, going places, performing, simple tasks, things like that. Like I said, that can be any disability. It doesn't have to be a category where one size fits all. It's a spectrum. It's pretty much, if it affects you, it affects you. And as long as you are legitimately saying that it does affect your life and you have to have help doing certain things in your life, then that's where you will legally classify as a disabled person. You can have a condition and not have it affect your daily life if it's manageable. Okay, so now that you've met those other requirements, let's talk about program versus owner-trained dogs. So a lot of people who have the funds and don't know anything about service dogs or training dogs or owning dogs, they'll take the program route. I've seen that be completely fine and better for them, especially if their disability affects them greatly where they cannot train or raise a puppy as a service dog, which is completely fine. Like I said, disability is not a one-size-fit-all, it's spectrum. They'll go the program route. There's programs like Canines for Companions, Hope for Paws, Guide Dogs of America, and also all other ADI accredited service dog programs. ADI is a international assistance dog website where they accredit these different programs who are legit programs and have real testimonials to a broad search database. So you could filter, here's a video. You could filter your state, put in whether they accept psychiatric or physical disabilities, what disabilities you can choose. I think it's a great site to go search I think it's a great site to look into if you're looking the program route. But here's the thing about programs. A lot of programs who are free of charge have long, extraneously long waiting lists. And if you chose service dog as your idea of your treatment plan or something that can help you, and you don't want to wait that long, you're going to have to wait regardless. So you take in mind that training service dog takes 2 to 3 years. Like, normally takes 2 to 3 years. Programs can take up to 10 years because you're on a wait list. You're being placed on a wait list. Some programs like Canine Companions for Independence has a wait list up to 1 to 2 years, depending on your needs, of course. While other programs like Medical or Guardian Angel Service Dogs here in Florida have a wait list up to 10 years. And they have closed their applications for the civilian PTSD. So there's long wait times. In paid program, you're paying like $30,000 for a dog. So most people don't have the funds up front. They can fundraise and make payment plans, but fundraising is also pretty hard from my experience. So if you don't have a good support group who are going to be able to push your campaign out there, you're going to have a hard time getting a dog for that price. So let's talk about owner training. Owner training is it's a lot of stuff. So you're able to owner train a service dog in the United States. So you choose a breed, you raise the puppy, you train it, basic obedience. The dog has to be well trained. It's a lot of training, a lot of time, a lot of money, but it's significantly cheaper than going to a program. Significantly more inducing when you train a service dog, especially if you're training it by yourself. So if you're going the owner training route, I recommend getting you a good trainer to help you train the service dog, like a service dog trainer, or even just a regular trainer just to get you through the basic obedience. But I always recommend trying to find a service dog trainer that has good reviews and that's pretty good and open and get you started and able to have that one-on-one feedback. You send them a video of your dog and you're having problems, and they'll come and they'll text you back and stuff like that. Having a good communicative service dog trainer or dog trainer is a must. So having that trainer help you through the puppy stages, which can be very hard, you must be able to train that dog and provide the socialization to that dog as the dog gets older. You get a puppy at 8 weeks old, and you're expected to train and socialize that dog within the 8 to 16 week period, because that is the most sponge inducing. They absorb as much around their surroundings and get them exposed to those areas. Not gradually, because you'll burn out your puppy. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in owner training a service dog, but it is not as hard as it seems, of course. So if you choose to go that route. Let's talk about we're going to do owner training because this is what the series is mainly about. Programs already have their stuff preset. It's pretty self-explanatory. Make sure you're choosing a good program, of course. So let's choose your breed, right? I see a lot of people on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram Reels. My first dog breed is gonna be a German Shepherd. And my dog is going to be trained for anxiety. Hold on right there. Let's stop and let's talk about this. So dogs and different dog breeds, you have more sensitive dogs, you have more biddable dogs. There's the Fab Four. You have poodles, labs, goldens, and collies. Those are the Fab Four that I've been taught. So those dogs are more biddable, and they're more highly trainable and more easily forgiving if you make a mistake, rather than a German Shepherd, a Rottweiler, or a Belgian Malinois. Please do not get no damn Belgian Malinois, bro. I swear to God, you're gonna regret it. These are not dogs for beginner owners, especially if you never trained a dog before. And let me explain why. These dogs in the Fab Four, you have one that's hyperallergenic. So if you live in a household that somebody's allergic to dog dandruff, that's a great start for you. Remember, there is no non-high energy dog. Every dog needs stimulation. They need to go outside. They need the training, and they need the energy. They need you to take them outside so they can get their wiggles out, so they can run and they can be a dog, right? If you're not able to provide that, a service dog is not for you. I know a lot of people who have a disability where they cannot go outside and take their dog out on walks because of their disability, whether you're using a mobility aid that doesn't allow you to do that. So that's why, there's programs, and why there's people who have service dogs that have mobility aids like electric wheelchairs and they're paralyzed. They can't take their dog outside. They have caregivers. That is another option. But if you're not having that, then I would strongly, highly reconsider a service dog for this time and place in your life at this very moment. Of course, that can always change, but that is my opinion. So first you're going to want to assess, what is my lifestyle like? Am I active? Am I not active? Do I want a high energy dog? Every dog is going to be somewhat high energy. If you're allergic to dogs, look into hypoallergenic dogs. If you want a small dog, look into some more smaller dog breeds. One breed that I recommend for small service dog work is miniature poodles. Poodles are the only breed that had 3 different sizes that are recognized by the AKC and UKC that are genuinely healthy, well-rounded dogs. So let's say you do pick your breed. In my case, it would be a poodle, right? Because it fits my lifestyle standards. A poodle would need a groomer. Take into consideration that this dog needs a groomer, and it needs to be groomed every 6 to 8 weeks. That's the biggest part. You have to brush these dogs 1 to 2 times a day, because you have to keep your service dog very, very clean. So you get this dog, and you're going to want to look at the breeder. The breeder is so important. So now that we're on to the breeder and you picked your dog breed, I want to say that finding a breeder is maybe the hardest part in this journey. And that is because there's a lot of backyard breeders. I never ever recommend you get a mixed breed dog, and here's why. These dogs have health conditions, and you may not know about that. Research your chosen breed, because you're going to look at, regardless of the breeder that you go to, you're going to want to look at the genetic health that these dogs may have, just completely, most common health issues by breed. You can have a well-rounded breeder that is amazing, does their health testing, and they breed for purpose, and they don't breed for the money, and all the money goes back into the dogs, and still have a dog that ends up with cushioning disease, and that's just the unfortunate things that happen. And you're gonna want to, be okay with the fact that this is what happens when this dog comes with age. As a dog ages, they might have hip dysplasia. You have to think about all of those health conditions. But when you're going into a mixed breed dog, you have to look at this breed's health condition and this breed's health condition. If I splice these together, what the fuck do I get, right? So that is why it's so important to research these breeds and not get a mixed breed, because it's unpredictable of what you're getting. Temperament is unpredictable of what you're getting. Oh, but the golden doodles look so cool and they look so sick. Guys, get a poodle. There's no difference between a golden doodle and a poodle. Dude, the only differences is that this dog gets more of a healthier option than this dog. Because this dog comes with an unknown temperament, and this dog comes with a temperament that you know what you're getting if you're getting it from a good breeder. So a good breeder is a must. Let's talk about what you do once you got your dog. So once you got your dog, your dog should be around 8 weeks old. You're going to want to train your dog. Guys, the moment your dog gets home, that first car ride home should be the most positive thing in the world. When you get your puppy's going to be stressed. When I go pick up my puppies, I have a Kong, which is one of these little guys. I fill it up with some dog-safe peanut butter or some kind of whipped cream to keep that dog busy. If the dog falls asleep, let the dog sleep. I like to have a crate or a friend to hold the dog. I never want my dog to be sitting on a seat while I'm driving alone. Always have somebody come with you to get your dog. If you don't have anybody, get a safety rated crate like a gunner kennel or a Rufflin kennel. These kennels that are rated to be safe for these dogs. You want your puppy to be the most safe when it's back home. You cannot risk anything. Or one of the little seat belts for the dogs if you can't afford a gunner kennel, because they are really expensive, especially for a dog that's going to grow out of it in like 2 weeks. So once you get your dog home, you're going to want to create a safe space for your dog and make sure that your dog is going to be safe. So the first thing I train my dogs is mark your words and cues, and luring and shaping. Shaping these dogs into positions, and they'll start offering it to you once they say, oh, so if I sit and I sit down or I lay down, I'm going to get a reward, and they'll start offering these more desirable behaviors, and it's more easier to put a word with it instead of teaching your dog, luring them to saying sit. You know, you want to have that dog always have these foundations already. So training your dog is one thing. I'm not going to get into all of that, but you want to socialize your dog. Once you get it, work with a trainer. That is the best way. Also, most importantly is know your laws, because you're going to want to advocate for yourself. Always advocate for yourself, because there's going to be times where people think they know better than you, and I promise you they don't. They're going to be like, oh, you need papers. Oh, you need registrations. No, that's completely wrong. Under ADA says there's no registry for service animals in the United States. That is completely wrong. They cannot deny you access. Also, guys, if you have a service dog in training and you're starting PA access, look in your state and see if they are protected. It doesn't matter. If they are not protected, I do not recommend taking them out until they are fully trained. Guys, you guys can go train at pet-friendly stores and practicing your task work in the pet-friendly stores. You do not have to feel obligated because you have a service dog to take that service dog and train out into those places. And most importantly, I can't stress this enough with these new service dog handlers. Do not overwhelm your dog. I get the feeling of having a dog and having your dog be so trained, and you're like, shit, I can go anywhere now. I'm independent. Guys, these are animals at the end of the day. Your dog is going to be tired. Your dog is going to be stressed. And you have to, accept that these are dogs, and you have to give them time off. Like, you work a job and they work a job, they deserve time off, rewards, and love. Please do not overwork your dogs, and do not burn out your puppies. Okay, and I also want to talk about the teenage stage of service dogs, or just dogs in general, not even service dogs. Teenage stage is where everybody kind of collapses and want to just get rid of the dog, because the dogs get very rebellious. It's like you being a teenager when you were younger, or you're a teenager right now, and you want freedom. You want to break the rules, and you want to find a way. Some teenagers are like that, not all, but that's the comparison that a lot of people put it to. You're gonna want to absolutely just stop with a dog. It's such a hard journey, but you have to work through it. In my opinion, I say let the dog get through it. It ends at 1 to 2 years old. Normally, it starts after their first heat cycle or when they're about 9 months old. It depends on the dog. It doesn't last long. I do not take them out during this time. I give the dog a break and let the dog work through these problems with the dog at home and let them be a dog. Also, there's people who disagree and want to take their dog and let them work through it, their adolescent phase, and that's completely fine. But in my opinion, I let my dog be a dog and let them bypass this age until they're about 1 to 2 years old. I'll sometimes take them out in public, non-pet friendly store to do some training, but I will not always rely on these dogs. Here's the one. This is something I almost forgot. Task. Find out what tasks that your dog can do for you. Look at your disability, do some research. There's a lot of different tasks your service dog can do for you. If you have POTS, your dog can do cardiac alert. Look up how to train these tasks if you don't have no help at all. This is very important, because what's a service dog without a task, right? Because service dogs are not emotional support animals, mind you. So tasks like cardiac alert or block or cover or orbit, the psychiatric task, or counterbalance. Please use a trainer for the mobility task. I beg, please use a trainer, because you can fuck up your dog so easily. I say use a trainer. People who are qualified for this, people who have trained for this, went to school for this, have a lot of experience doing this. It doesn't matter if you feel like you can do it. Use the extra money, get your dog tested at 2 years old, get their over phase, and make sure that their hips are good. If their hips are not good, do not do mobility on that dog. Please do not. You're going to mess up your dog in the long run. Just make sure any weight-bearing task that you get your dog checked out. So once you found that task for your dog that works out for you, you start following these other steps. And basically, that's how you get a service dog in 2026. Honestly, it's no easy road. It doesn't matter what you take. You're going to end up spending a lot of money a lot of different, you're gonna go through the headache. It's not an easy journey, but if you're motivated to, you absolutely can train your service dog and train your own service dog. It depends people to people, and just follow your heart. And just, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this helps. I hope you guys have a good start off to 2026. It's December the 7th when I posted this, but I wanted to post this early so we have a new fresh guide on how to get a service dog. The limited guide, guys. Though I will be posting more videos. I thought I had to get some good content, some good editing before I post the video. So if you like what you see, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to get to 100 subscribers. That is my dream, to post YouTube videos to my Pacific people and have a lot of followers, and I can share my knowledge with my followers and help them out, do giveaways, and do all of that. And eventually, you know, produce better content and more high quality content. This is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to get there. Non-stop grind. I'm always willing to find things. So hope this guide helps, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastic day, night, wherever you are in the world. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Any interactions help. Let's get this channel monetized so we can start even doing giveaways and everything else. See ya.